Hey fam, happy Mexican Monday. Another episode of Corey's Cocina. Outside today, it's kind of a nice day here in the Midwest-ish. It's super sunny. It's not super warm though. Today we're going to do grilled steak and chicken fajitas. This is a big family favorite of mine. The kids love it. I've got my grill going. I've already got the charcoal in the grill and ready to go. So let's get this thing loaded up. Give this a little bit of scrape. I already washed these off. The grill that I'm using, I've got an upper and a lower deck. I love that because it gives me a lot of options. Also, when you're building your fire, when you're putting your fire in, I've got my fire just on one half of this grill. That gives me a place to do searing, and then it also gives me a cool spot where I can move things around. If things are cooking too fast or not cooking fast enough, it gives me some options. One of the things that I see people do a lot of times when they're grilling, one of the mistakes that they'll do is they'll fill the whole entire bottom with charcoal. You don't really give yourself a lot of outs if your fire's too hot. Okay? So, in my pan here, this is my grill pan that I use for doing peppers and anything small that's going to fall through the grates. I've got red, orange, and green pepper here. That's going to go on the fire. I'm going to put that on the top shelf for right now. And then I've got some flank steak here. And one of my best friends, a really good friend of mine, they are the Drum Hillers. And if you are in the southern Michigan area, they've got a farm where they raise organic cattle. And they're super cool people, and they love their animals. They raise them ethically. They're 100% grass-fed, grain-fed, organic beef. Sorry, Nathan, this is not that. I had to go to the store to get this. So anyway, this has been marinating for about 3 hours, and this is just flank steak. Sometimes it's called skirt steak. I've seen it called flat iron steak as well. So my marinade is going to be lime juice, cumin, salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of white pepper, and I think that's it. Get the marinade out of this bag here. You can hear it sizzling on the grill already. So that's my beef. And then in this bag I've got chicken tenders, the chicken breast tenderloins, sometimes they're called. I like grilling these up because I can do, if I'm doing steak and chicken at the same time, they'll finish about the same time. If I'm doing full breast, like bone-in breast, they're going to take a lot longer. All right. So with this, get in here and just start putting these on. I don't want to lose all my marinade pouring this out. And I'm going to stack this chicken close to the fire just like I did with the beef. And then my own personal preference when I'm doing chicken marinades, if I add any more marinade to if I'm going to add any more marinade while I'm grilling, I'm not going to use what was in this bag just because this was this had raw chicken in it. I will make another marinade mix if I feel like I need to add more to it. I don't want anybody getting the salmon vanilla, right? We want to be food safe, make sure that we're not contaminating and cross-contaminating. Okay, so we'll get the chicken on here. Now I'm going to get this lid closed. Right now, the other thing that you need to remember is that every time you have the lid open, you're losing heat. Okay? And if you're looking, you ain't cooking. And it takes a minute for the grill to get back up to temperature once you have if you have the lid open, especially today. It's not super warm. Just finish getting this chicken on here. The only downside about using these tenderloins is I got to be really careful putting them on the grates here so they don't fall through. If I was using a whole breast, that wouldn't be an issue. Almost lost one. Almost down into the bottom. Couple more pieces, we'll get these on, we'll get this grill closed. And then we'll talk about fire management with your grill, because that's important too. I'm running out of space here. Alright. So like I said, tonight we're doing chicken and steak. Also going to do some yellow rice as a side, and just a simple black bean and corn salsa. Okay, so I got that in. I'm going to get this shut. My peppers are on the top. They're on my top shelf. Steak and chicken is on the bottom. Now for my fire management, because I've built my fire on this end of the grill, I want my vents on this side on the bottom wide open to get my heat. And then I'm going to shut the one up here on top unless I start getting too hot. And I'm going to close the one on the bottom here and open this one here on the top. If you're working out of a kettle grill, you've only got one option, truthfully, and that's just in the center. But you can adjust as needed. I also have a thermometer on my grill, which I love. This was a Father's Day present for me a couple years ago, and I love this grill. I love the barrel grills, not bear grills, barrel grills, because I like the way that they cook. So we want to keep the heat up here. So like I said, bottom on this side, top on this side. So my heat is going to travel through my grill in this direction, from bottom to top. And if it starts to get too hot, I can open up this side here. If it starts to get too cool, I can open up the bottom vent so I get a better breeze going through. So while we're doing that, while we're getting this back up to temp and getting everything cooking, I'm also going to do a roasted pico salsa tonight. I love doing grilled vegetables, especially that's the nice thing about having this top rack, is that I can put vegetables there, I can move them, I can put them right on the fire, get a little a sear going to them, blister the skins up a little bit on the tomatoes and the peppers, and then I can move them to the top and finish getting them warmed all the way through. All right, so also to the peppers, the chicken and the beef, the chicken and the steak, they have the same marinade tonight. It's cumin, lime juice, salt, pepper, white pepper, and a little bit of chili powder. You can do those to whatever ratio you want. Mine is cumin heavy, just because we all like the cumin flavor in this household. So, but you can add and adjust this as you want. If you don't want to do the salt, I mean, you can adjust the salt as you need. I would say you need salt, but if you're trying to watch your sodium intake, use a salt substitute, something like that. So that's what's on the meat. On the vegetables, as they start to cook up a little bit, I'm going to throw in just a little bit of salt and a little bit of cumin. Not a ton, because that's already on the meat. Okay. So we're going to let this get going. Actually, we're going to give it a check and see if we're getting any good sear marks yet on the meat. You can hear it sizzling already. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're getting those really good grill marks. That's the other nice thing about having a hot side of the grill, is I can get those grill marks real quick. Okay? And then, no, actually, I'm going to throw my pico vegetables. I'm going to put those on the top rack right now. So I got tomatoes. Those are going to go on here right now, just to start warming. I've got my peppers. These ones I got to be a little bit careful with. I could actually throw these in with the green pepper right now, because they're not cut, so they're not gonna spice up those green peppers. But I don't really need to. These habaneros I am gonna throw in the pan though, because those will fall through. So for the pico tonight, I'm doing some roast jalapeno, some roast serrano, and some roast habanero. And I'll get those going. I'm also going to just throw in a clove of garlic here. And I just leave the paper on it. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay? I'm actually going to raise my fire up just a little bit, to get a little bit more heat. One thing about grilling outside in the springtime is it's super easy to lose the heat in your grill quickly because of the ambient temperature outside. Okay, so we're going to get that grilled, and then as I get everything going here, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my tortillas up on the second rack here, just to get them warmed, and it's going to give them a little bit of flavor too. They're going to pick up a lot of the flavor from the meat and the vegetables cooking, and it's going to be delicious. They'll be warm, they'll be soft, and like I said, they're going to get a little bit of the flavor from the meat. Also, for me, my personal preference, I love to use lump charcoal, just the hardwood charcoal. I usually use mesquite also, but I can't find any right now. And we're not in Texas where it just falls on the ground all over the place. So I will do that sometimes too. I'll either throw in some hickory chips or some mesquite chips. And that gives a really nice smoke flavor to the meat. Okay. So really that's it for what we're doing tonight. Just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what was going on. This is going to be amazing. We're going to get this grilled up, and the grilled vegetables, especially the peppers, are going to be amazing in the grill, because again, all of these flavors are starting to marry together, right? Just like in the molcajete, just like I talked about in the molcajete video. Everything's going to start to marry together. The meat and the vegetables, it's going to be amazing. So just a short video tonight. I'm not going to bore you with the whole grilling process. The only thing I will say though is that when you're doing your steak, if you want to get those really good grill marks, I'm going to put it on like this, and then the next time when I need to turn it, I'm only going to give it a 45, and that's going to give me those really nice hash marks. Okay, you could do a 90 too if you wanted, but if you want to get those cool triangular hash marks like you see at Outback or Texas Roadhouse or some other place like that, you're just going to do a 45 turn, and then you're going to let that get a good sear on it, get those good grill marks, flip it over, and I'm going to flip it the exact same way, the orientation that it's in, and then I'm just going to go back this way when I flip it again. And again, that'll give me my nice grill marks on the other side. So like I said, just a short video tonight from Corey's Cocina. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll upload it to YouTube later. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Thanks guys. Take care. Happy Mexican Monday.